You know, with crankbait fishing, you're obviously fishing with treble hooks. You're fishing with a hook that can easily tear out of a fish's mouth. And you don't always get the best hook set with a crankbait. You really want the fish, when they strike it, you want to allow your line, your rod, and your reel to get the impact and hook that fish. You want to have a rod that you can get it as far as you can. And the reason being, the further the distance from you to your rod and reel is going to allow that crankbait to go down. And guys actually started, they've been doing it for a while, and I didn't even know it was legal on our Bassmaster Elite Series tour until it happened last year at Douglas. But guys were taking these baits, dropping them, trolling motoring, 100 yards, and then starting to crank them. So they're long lining, and what that is doing is it's allowing that crankbait to just keep going down. So they're getting these crankbaits in the 20 to 30 foot of water that we never thought was possible. And that's what won the tournament, and the couple guys that were doing it won the tournament. When you are cranking it that far of a distance, and a lot of these bigger crankbaits, you got a heavier gauge hook on them, it's got more power to it, so you can actually get a hook set into those fish at a far distance. Because as soon as you hit a fish with a crankbait, whether you're fishing in a foot of water to 20 feet of water, that fish likes to come right to the surface and try to shake that thing. That's their natural response to getting bit by trouble. A big thing in their mouth, they just want to shake it, and they just feel like the easiest thing to do is go up to the surface. And when that happens, you kind of feel your rod just kind of loading up, and you kind of see the slack coming. You're like, oh gosh, it's going to jump. Please stay on. And that's when you want to bring your rod. You actually want to lower your rod when that happens. If it starts coming up, try to lower your rod. Keep that tension on it the entire time, because the moment that fish comes up and it's got slack, he can shake that out. All right, now you get to lipless crankbait fishing. This is one of the most universal hard baits out there. This bait is basically from early spring to all year round to even, I've caught them in the winter when you're supposed to be fishing real slow with a jerkbait. I've been burning lipless crankbaits catching fish. So the big thing with a lipless crankbait, why it excels so early in the year, is a lot of lakes we fish, there's a lot of grass. Wintertime rolls around, the fish, they kind of migrate and they hunker into that grass. It's kind of like just getting into their little blankets, You start heating up a little bit, you start getting this thing, you start snapping it out of there, they come out of their comfort zone and grab the bait. So lipless crankbait, and it's such a universal bait. If you fish it on monofilament, you could take that bait right there, and I'll even have it sometimes with 3 different rods, one with mono, one with fluoro, one with braid. And that's where it can be the most complex bait, because you'll take it with the monofilament, you're gonna keep it up near the surface. I'll go as heavy as a 20 pound. And then you go to a braided line, you're gonna be able to just tear it through the grass and constantly just rip it through that grass if you're fishing real thick grass. And kind of downscale, use like a 30 pound to a 40 pound braid. I wouldn't really go much heavier than that. And then obviously if you're gonna go to a braided line versus a mono, because there's more stretch, that's when you want to use like a fiberglass rod or a softer action, like a medium action graphite rod. The problem with the lipless crankbait is,
I hope you enjoyed the preview clip, and for more like that and the entire collection, subscribe to the Bass University TV. And if you want the tackle that you see on there, I want you to go to the Bass University Tackle Shop, powered by Tackle Warehouse, and click right here, and it's all at your fingertips.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.